What is up, guys? It is Dylan with Redneck Tuners. I am kind of in the middle of between two videos right now, so I'm trying to get some content going here. It is Christmas, or yesterday was Christmas, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all you guys. And by the time this comes out, it'll be Happy New Year as well. But I got some cool parts for Christmas. I put them on. I got a bunch of new stuff for the daily. Put those on. I just finished wired up the light bar, and now I'm headed to put some new stuff on the 240. Like I said, I am in between two videos right now. I'm working on getting the electronics and the fuel situations figured out. So right now, in the meantime, while I have a little bit of downtime, it's kind of my relaxing day. I got work tomorrow, so I'm just going to kind of take it slow. I don't want to stress myself out. So I'm going to try to wire up my new stereo system. I've been waiting for this for a long time. We got the doubled-in stereo setup in Diana's 240, and it's been awesome. I honestly I'm super jealous because I can't go to meets with music. I can't charge my phone, so every time I'm there, I'm not really filming too much because my phone's been dying on the road trip, or when I want to take pictures or videos and things like that, my phone dies really quick, so I have to shut it off early. Plus, it's really nice to have a doubled-in. You get Apple CarPlay, you get cool stuff, all like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm super excited to get rid of this. I am super excited because all I can get on this is maybe some stations here and there with a bunch of static. So I really hope that I can get this together smooth and we can get a really cool sound system in the car again. It's not going to be crazy. I'm not going to do super like heavy bass or anything, but just enough to listen to music while I cruise. I love the sound of my car, but you know, after an hour or so of driving, it gets a little old. So I want to listen to some music. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get this stuff prepared. I have a pretty cool setup I'll show you guys. And then I can kind of leave some links in the description for what you guys might want to do for yourself. And then I'll show you where you can get some parts, and hopefully we can get this thing out seamlessly. So got the radio out. It's really simple. If you haven't seen any videos on it, there are plenty, but in a nutshell, you pop the radio trim bezel off. There are 4 screws right here holding the whole radio in together, and there's 2 harness plugs. If you have an original factory radio, there'll be a little bit more than 2. I think there's 4. And your antenna, you pull that out and you're good to go. So that means hopefully this is the last time I have to put this back in, but you never know. So we're gonna take this apart, look at the harness, see if this is something we can reuse. If not, I'm gonna get me a different harness and we'll get the other one wired up. And then once we know that the radio's in, everything's working, then we can tackle the speakers. I have 4 brand new ones. So that's my old stereo. I got it all tore apart, took the brackets off from the pieces there. And I put them on the new car stereo. This is by a brand called Yamaha. I think that's how you say it, or Yamaha. Fairly inexpensive way to get an aftermarket stereo. So I put the original brackets on here. It took a little bit of finessing. I just put it in the car and tested it right now. They make dash kits, they make bracket kits for these cars. But if you're okay with saving money and doing a little bit of work, this is the way to go. So I have the brackets all set up. These are exactly how I want them. And now I am going to start the wiring process. I ended up getting this from Walmart. This is for this car. It comes with 4 harnesses, but you're only going to need the 2 that look like this. These are the exact ones that fit in the car. There are, like I said, 2 other plugs in the car that do not go to anything once you do the swap to a newer stereo. So you're only going to need these 2 unless you're doing something crazy. But this one has a backup camera as well. And it has, I believe it has the zones and everything like that. So basically everything you could possibly want on an older car like this. Has a microphone set up. And yeah, there's pretty much anything you, like I said, anything you really want on this setup. So it's fairly inexpensive and it's going to hopefully do the job well. So we're going to get going on the wiring process. If you don't know how to wire a stereo, there are plenty of videos better than what I can show you. Trust me. I'm just going to do this harness and everything. Hopefully it looks better than this one. But yeah, I'm gonna take care of this and then we'll get back to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I have the new stereo. I have it all wired up. It's not the prettiest job, but I did run into some issues, and I want to kind of clear that up for anybody else that has it, especially in a 240, but in any car in general. Basically, I didn't realize that since this is the LE model in the 240, is a 91 LE. It comes with the active, I think it's called active speaker system in the car. And basically that means that they are amplified. There's an amp behind this speaker, an amp behind that speaker, and then there's one in the back that powers those two. And I didn't realize that. And I've heard about it. I just didn't think about it. And also the there was an aftermarket radio as well as speakers in this car. So I kind of figured, well, why would they keep the amp, you know? But they did. So basically the way to fix that, and I'm going to try to make this clear here, is on the new harness, the adapter harness that you buy that I showed you, there is on the smaller unit here, there is a cord. It is a blue with a white stripe. It could be something else on your harness, but basically read it. The thing you're looking for is the amp turn on. That's the amp turn on switch, kind of, basically. And I didn't have that to anything. I had it open because I didn't have an amp wire that I was plugging in here, and I don't have an amp in my car. Well, I do, but I didn't realize that I did. Basically, the way to bypass that and to use the amp would be to splice the amp turn on into your power ignition, which is my red wire. It should be most, I think they're all red, honestly. But do not switch it to your constant power, because then while your car's off, it will drain your battery. So make sure you do it only on ignition, which would be red. I believe constant is orange or yellow, one of the two here. I'm colorblind, so, but anyways, yeah, so splice it into the ignition power and your amp turn on, and then plug it in, and you should get sound from your speakers. If you didn't have sound before, like I did, I sat here and I was baffled. I thought I wired all the speakers wrong, but I didn't. It was just that one wire needing to be powered on so the amps work for all the speakers. Now I'm going to put it back in the car. I'm going to throw the microphone on here so I can do wireless calling and stuff like that. And then I'm going to put it back in, and then we're going to work on the speakers. I have door speakers and I have rear speakers that need to be worked on. So let's jump into it. All right, so the stereo's back in. I used a little bit of the dash piece in there that came with it to kind of get up some negative space. Everything works just fine. The power antenna just kicked off right now. It's working for me as well, so you guys can wire that up if you want. The speakers sound great, even though these are the bad speakers. So I'm excited to put the new ones in, and it's going to be crazy. I'm already so excited. I was listening to music in the car already. I haven't been able to do that this whole time with this car, so it is honestly the coolest thing ever. So I'm excited for when this thing gets right. I'll be able to drive on the road with some cool tunes. But for now, I'm going to try to work on the speakers. It is raining out, so I might take a break, but we're going to see how this goes. All right, so these are the speakers I got. They are 4x6s. This is the brand. So far I have this speaker in. This one's wired up. I'm just getting it back in there. Really the only splicing needed was getting the new power cords in and the ground. So I threw those in and they're good to go. Now we're going to put them back in and then possibly work on the doors.
3 days later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I am here to finish this dang project. I wanted to get the sound system in earlier. I've been kind of running around all week, and I did drive this thing yesterday and the day before we went to a little meet, nothing crazy. But sound works great, but I haven't put the new front speakers in yet. And that's the last bit of this other than the reverse camera. But I don't really want to do the video on the reverse camera. I might do something separate or like a little clip or something that in a later video, because it's just not everybody wants it. But yeah, I need to take these door panels off. I have these cool adapter pieces because the typical speaker for this car is a 4x6 inch, and I put those in the rear. But the problem is they don't produce a lot of bass or really any sound very much. They're just kind of like little speakers. So I bought these adapters. I got these adapters for Christmas. I can put the link in the description. They're super helpful. So then you can now put a full 6-inch round speaker, which I have here up front. So hopefully that'll produce better sound. And then I can kind of judge it from there. But basically, we're gonna take this door panel off first. And then we'll look at what it looks like under. I've never taken this door panel off. I've never taken that one off either. So we're gonna hope that there's nothing too pressing under there. So let's get into it. Driver's side is super simple. There's a screw here. There's one in the handle. You have to pop the little flat piece out. It's another screw. And then you pop the handle out, I believe. Let's see if I can get kind of an angle from this. Mine's already broken, but I'll try to minimize any more damage. Let's see. All right, so I've taken off like 20 freaking 240 doors. Excuse me, I just dropped all my screws. And I've never had this much struggle with removing this one. If you're having problems getting this piece out, Basically reach your fingers in here, pop all these clips out so the door gets loose, and there is a plug obviously for the window. Basically just reach under here, unplug it, and that way this thing will come free and you're not going to break your clip or your connectors or anything. So once you've damn, sorry, I'm out of breath. Once you've basically removed all the clips off the side, this will just kind of wiggle its way up and your door panel is off, and that leaves the speaker right there, and then we'll jump into that. As you can see, these are the 4x6s. Pioneers aren't bad. They don't really have any like I said, kick to them. You're never going to get bass. You're never going to get any like super nice pitchy tones or anything like that. It just doesn't work. It's just enough for sound. So we're going to remove these right here because I got the new brackets to put in. So let's do that first. All right, so I struggled with one bolt, but after taking those out, this will be probably a little sticky. If you have a flathead, you can kind of pull it out. It's gonna be, oh wow, look at that, already broke. All right, that's that. And I believe, since like I said, this is an LE, this is gonna be part of the amp. So I'm gonna pull this apart, look at it, and see how I can wire it. And then I'll kind of explain it once I know. All right, so this is the amp system. There's one on each door and there's one in the very back. I was just leaving them. Maybe it's a good idea I get rid of them, but for now, I'm gonna try to run them, see if they actually improve the speaker. I just tested it, they do work. So basically what I did was I removed the surround plate and the speaker completely from the amp here. And then these are just the speaker wires, you just pop them in. So I'm gonna try to see if I can jimmy rig a system to where this amp stays in the car, because I don't wanna have to deal with more wiring than I have to right now. And there's like a harness and everything. I don't wanna try to bypass this. So what we're gonna do is try to make this work with the new adapter plate. And then I'll show you how I did it. And that way you guys, just in case you have an amp car, you can do it as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I think this is why we call it Redneck Tuners, because I used some zip ties, and basically I did one here, threw it in the speaker hole, and there's two up top holding it up, and it's no longer hitting any sort of metal. So when I go over bumps, I'm not gonna hate my life. This is probably not the best setup, to be honest. It's probably easier to bypass it, but I don't know, I feel like I kind of want to leave it until maybe I have issues with it, and then we'll decide if I want to keep it or not later on. But for now, 4 zip ties and it holds it up in the air. And yeah, I'm gonna throw the new adapter plate on and the new speaker, and then I'll show you how it looks. All right, so I got the new adapter plate on, super easy, uses the factory bolts for the 4, and it gives you 4 bolts to hold in your speaker. And so that's the new speaker, all good to go. Just tested it, the sound works. So they do come with like speaker covers, cone covers, but I honestly don't like the look of them. I know it's good for like protecting this cone, but I don't think it'll fit with my door panel. So we're just gonna do without it. Yeah, and after that, basically reverse, throw the panel back on, and that's that for this side. We got one more side. That one's a little bit different. It does have a handle, so I'll show you guys how to do that. But let's get back to this when it's back together. All right, driver's side is done. I have to jump on the passenger side. I might have to run because I am going to get fitted for a tux for my brother's wedding, but I will be coming back and finishing this today. This speaker works good. I'm excited about it, but we'll get back to it in a little bit. All right, guys, so I'm back. It's a little dark now, but we're gonna get this thing done, I promise. So this door's a little bit different. There's a bolt here. There's another one, like I said, in the same spot as that one, but there's an additional bolt right there. And then once you take that out, you'll twist it. I'll show you, but you'll twist it, and that is the way to do it. So basically with this screw out, you're gonna grab here and you're gonna twist, and there's a little hook kind of that goes out here. Try not to rip your interior, but it's a little hook piece, and when you go to put it back in, you twist it back the same way, and there you go. Now with the screw out here, you can pop up your window switch, careful, and then you pull the harness out there, and let me get that out quick. Okay, it's out. And then you put that to the side, don't lose your screws. And then lastly, to get this out, best to open up your handle and reach under there. There's little clips, just kind of pull them out. Try not to break them. Knowing me, I'll break them, but hard to do this with one hand. let me switch. Just pop the handle, stick your fingers in there, and there you go. And then keep it open if you can to help this slide out. And there you go, just like that, pops out. After that, like I said, you reach your fingers in here. There'll be little clips that you pop out. Let's see if I can get one here. There it is. One there. If you have an interior pry tool, you're better off so you don't hurt your fingers, but there you go, like that. One more there, and then you lift it straight up from the car, just like that, and your door panel's up. This one's not as good, but basically same thing. 4 zip ties, one on each corner on like these little holes in here. It's not moving very much, which is good. So you got my 2 speaker wires hanging out. I'm gonna throw my adapter plate in, which is right here. Sorry, the light's terrible. And then I'm gonna throw the new speaker in. I already tested if the speaker works, and it does, so that's good. So yeah, let's throw this in and get rid of this thing. All right, once again, we are done. That looks great. I'm very happy with how these came out. Fairly inexpensive for what they actually do for you, so that's awesome. Fits great, and the door panel goes on fine, no issues. So I'll throw that back on, and yeah, that will put this to an end. I'm gonna test the sound, make sure everything is all right, and then I'll get back to you guys. So I'm in the truck, basically just better lighting. The lights in the 240 aren't very bright, but I think that's what it's gonna do it for the video. I got all 4 speakers in. I kept the amps, which I don't know, I don't think I'm regretting. It sounds really good, but the way I mounted it, the window actually comes down and it hits it and you can hear it. So I will have to make some adjustments with that. But for now, it works. The sound's great. It's raining anyways around here, so I won't have my windows down too often. But I'm gonna fix that maybe this coming week. That's not a problem you guys wanna look for. If you are interested in how I ended up mounting them eventually in the future, I'll let you know. Or if I get rid of them, I'll let you know how I got rid of them. But yeah, I feel like this is a big victory for me. It may not be a crazy interesting video, but I've been waiting on stuff like this for a long time. This car has been running for a while, and I've been able to drive it around. I've been blessed to be able to drive it around. But you know, sometimes after a while, the drone and just kind of cruising with friends, I don't really get to have that music. So now I do. I'm so excited I can use Apple CarPlay. I will be installing a aftermarket USB charger because the head unit doesn't put out enough power. I actually am getting that in the mail tomorrow, and it should be a fairly simple install. But I'm excited for that too, because now I can charge my phone so I can take better, you know, videos, longer videos at meets, charge my cameras if I need to, things like that when I'm driving the car. So I'm super excited for that. The car's getting closer and closer to me being able to just get in it and go when I want to, and that's really the goal. I don't need a track car. I want something I can just get out there and drive and do whatever I really want to do at that point in time. So like I said, thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully you guys liked it. Leave a comment for me. Let me know what you think about the system. Let me know what you think about these videos. And I'm going to try my best to keep uploading. I got a couple cool things planned for this year as far as content goes. So yeah, leave a subscribe for me. That way I can get motivated to make some more videos, and hopefully you guys enjoy them as much as I do. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.